Hey, what's up, guys? Today I want to talk a bit about philosophy of art as it applies to femininity. And my argument today is similar to that of Roger Scruton's argument about architecture and art, and especially architecture and the purpose it serves in civilization, how um, a building should be built to be beautiful, to withstand the test of time, to always serve a useful function in society, and to also stand as a representation of the deeper values of a society, and how that really represents strength and beauty and truth and godliness that the society is founded on. I'm going to extend this theory to feminine beauty, to say that when it comes to a woman, her function follows her form in the same way that a building's function follows its form. If you build a building to be functional only, then no one is going to want to occupy that space after whoever built it is through with it. That's why you see so many um, abandoned factories in Detroit, say, and the city's falling apart is because nothing was built with aesthetic value in mind. Well, when we look at how men and women interact with each other, one thing is very clear, and that is that to women, men are success objects. The better a man is at providing for that woman via his success, and that involves, providing materially, financially, but also personality-wise, and providing fun and excitement in a relationship, and go down the checklist of things that a man has to do to impress a woman. It all kind of rests on his success, or at least how successful he could be in her eyes. But conversely, on the other end, to a man, a woman is a beauty object. The more beautiful she is, the more he can show her off and be proud of that, and the more he can feel as though, he's got a woman who can really turn him on, and who initially caught his eye, because it's the first thing that we men notice about a woman is her physical appearance, her beauty. And my argument more deeply, this isn't my argument, this is just a setup, is that a woman's function, what she does and provides value-wise to a man or to society or anything else, stems from her appearance. It stems from her beauty. A woman who is more conservative and very beautiful physically, and has traditional values, she has those values of fulfilling a traditionally feminine role and purpose and function, to use the terminology on the day, um, because of her form, her physical form. She attracts attention from men who are looking for aesthetic objects in women, basically. And again, that's not to say anything negative about objectifying women. It's a good thing, if anything, um, because we value a woman who is healthy, a woman who has taken good care of herself, and who does give a crap about how she looks and how she presents herself. But of course, you don't want to confuse high value with, high maintenance. Those are two very different things. But a woman's function to that man will um, be provided on the basis of her form, And if she maintains that form, she will attract a man who can provide a context through which she can serve her traditional feminine function. So this is really an aesthetic argument at the core, Um, whether we're talking about beauty in a painting or in music, um, truth exists. We can make qualitative distinctions between works of art. Some art is better than other art. Some music is better than other music. Some women are more beautiful than other women, and therefore are more likely to fulfill their maternal role that is so intrinsic to their nature. And if they do not have the form with which to attract a man who will provide that context for them, they will find other ways to fulfill that maternal role, such as pets, dogs, cats, birds, lizards, rats, whatever. They're going to need some sort of object on which to inflict their maternal instinct. And if they're not attractive enough to attract a man, then they also may find another function in society, rather than being a wife, a lover, a mother, a caretaker of her own children, or pets. She may become a feminist, put her efforts into more, intellectual or really pseudo-intellectual pursuits that really have a toxically maternal subject matter to them anyway. So, in a sense, they're still expressing their maternal instinct through those intellectual pursuits. And it can be quite pathetic. Also, they can become lesbians. I don't know a single lesbian who has not either been with a man or would not be with a man if she could be with a man. So because she doesn't have the form with which to attract a man, maybe she has been with men in the past and has grown bitter toward them because, she's had some bad experiences and now projects all of her issues onto men and hates men, has become a feminist. She's gone the other way and become a lesbian as well. She's sort of given up on men entirely. Or she's never really had the feminine beauty with which to attract a man. So she's found another function. She's found something else to do in being a lesbian, And and so, yeah, this is an aesthetic argument, and it's really reflective of human nature in general and how we are a part of nature, and we fulfill a role in nature as men, as women, as human beings in general. But when it comes to beauty, I mean, women are just physically more beautiful than men are. I think that a beautiful woman, a body which has been maintained, cared for, treated as a temple, so to speak, is really nature's highest art form, nature's greatest masterpiece. And it's not a negative thing that is objectified by men. In fact, it's more deep than that. It's admired by men. And in fact, I think feminine beauty in some way has inspired almost everything great that every man has ever done. There's been feminine inspiration behind it in a sense, whether it's in the arts or building something in our societal or even intellectual infrastructure. Feminine beauty has a deeply admirable and inspirational quality to it. It's a spiritual thing, But of course, we can't take the good without the bad. Conversely, there's almost nothing more grotesque, nothing more disturbing and uninspiring than a female body which has not been maintained, not been cared for, and has been mutilated, So, yeah, it's an interesting and deep argument, and I know that this is a theory, this is my theory, that function follows form, both in the arts and in architecture and in society, but also in men and women, more specifically in feminine beauty. And so the value, I guess, if there's any takeaway here, that we should not neglect and certainly not devalue feminine beauty. in its traditional sense, because it is that which inspires great things in men. It's that which really inspires men and motivates men to be men, to do masculine things, to build, to create, and to provide for her, for society, and for hopefully everyone and everything of the future, you know? So that's my argument. I'm sure some people will have some beef with it, but I like to connect dots, you know, between philosophy, psychology, and gender dynamics and things like that. And it's important to think holistically when it comes to a lot of the confusion that that's been going on in society lately with, you know, feminism changing the landscape of how femininity is defined. You know, it's not even debatable what a woman's role is to her when she has that beauty. But when she doesn't have the form, her function is called into question. So she'll come up with some stupid idea like feminism or that, you know, women can be men and that men should be more like women, uh, so that things are more fair. But I think fairness as a value in general is not really something to hold in high regard. I think truth is should be more valued, and the truth of the matter is that men are success objects to women. Women are beauty objects to men, at least initially. And, you know, that's how the two-way inspiration gets started. That's how life is literally created. And those are the roles in which people are the happiest, you know, when masculinity and femininity are serving as complements for one another, and they're meant to provide that which the other lacks. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. See you in the next one. Cheers.